This is part 2 of how to prepare your data for the DIY practical, which is part of Agronomy 1 in the Bachelor of Agriculture Technology and BES 224 in the equine degree. My name's Nikki Cooley and I'm from Melbourne Polytechnic. We have entered our data, we have calculated our average and our standard deviation. We have calculated our error bar for the chart, which is 50% or have the standard deviation divided by 2. Now we're ready to produce our bar chart, something which we hope will look like this. First of all, it is a good idea to follow the default format that I have used until you are ready and confident and have had a lot of practice. Once you've enabled your skills, you'll be able to set your Excel sheet in any format that suits you. We're going to show our data of day 1 through to day 7 and our average. This is the data that you will use to select in order to produce this bar chart. Highlight the data as I have done. Do not include the standard deviation or the error bar data, as these are added after the bar chart is drawn. Proceed to the insert on the toolbars. On the inserts there will be a chart section. I prefer the column charts, so select the insert column chart. From this you will be given a number of designs. All of these designs represent a slightly different function. So they're not just about how they look, they're actually about the functionality of the graph. Here I have suggested that we select a clustered column. As you will see, as soon as my cursor goes over this, the default for the graph appears. You can see we have day 1 of our seedling height at 2.8. This is shown accurately. When drawing graphs, it's always worth taking a moment to just check that the data that you have entered is being shown correctly. You can also see, if you put your cursor over each bar chart, that it will actually show you the value series. This is another good way of ensuring that the data is in fact correct. When you work on your chart, in order to do anything, you usually have to click on the chart or it to be highlighted. This is shown by these boxes around the chart. If I was to click on the cell, these boxes would disappear, and that means the chart's no longer highlighted. If you find an error or are not able to do anything or lose a function, then start from the beginning by at first clicking on the chart. Next, we want to add axes. You can do this by clicking on the chart element box. Here you can add axes and chart titles and other things such as legends if you wish to do so. On this charts for today's examples, I will only be adding axes titles and I will be removing the chart title. The reason I remove the chart title is that this will be copied and pasted into a report, and this will be shown as a figure legend underneath the chart, and so a chart title for this purpose is not required. In order to get rid of the chart title, click on the title area and just press the delete key. In order to add the axes titles after the chart elements has automatically inserted them, you hold your cursor over the axes title, you double click, and then you drag your mouse along there, or alternatively you just start typing. This is our seedling height, and so this is how I'm going to describe it. If you were just to leave the seedling height without putting a unit in, this would really be unsatisfactory. So please ensure that you always add units to your axes title. It's a good habit to get into. So So we have added our seedling height axes, and now we're going to add our axes here. This is Dave's measurement for this experiment. Once you have finished typing, click outside and the chart will resume. So let's resume. We have our data points and we have our axes correctly labelled. The last component that we need to add on this chart is the error bars. Now, one thing to remember is Excel can automatically calculate your error bars for you, but in this instance this will be incorrect. We have and want to show error bars of 20 of our points. If we were to just click on and use the Excel automated error bar, it would only show us errors calculated from the graph data point and not from the original data. So, in order to enter specific values, we will need to do the following. Click once with the left-hand mouse on the series. Not individual bars, but all three of the bars should be shown. I'm going to make this slightly smaller so that you can see both the data and what I hope to do. So I have highlighted each bar by clicking on it. Once you do that, you will notice some new components of the top menu bar. Chart Tools, Design and Format. Click on the Design component. Once this screen has popped up, there is a section called Add Chart Element. You will find this useful for adding axes and other such things. But in this example, we want to go to error bars. Click on the error bars and go down to more error bars. If we wanted Excel to calculate the standard deviation automatically, we could select standard deviation as in here, but that would not show accurately our data and the standard deviation of all 20 of our seedlings. Once you have clicked on your standard deviation, an automatic deviation will present, but this is not correct. What you need to do now is select the error bar options. These come up automatically, and you want to click on this symbol on the right hand side. It's difficult to see on this screen, but right at the bottom there is a custom option. Please click on that, followed by specified custom, and then this box will appear. Where it says equal brackets 1, close brackets, you wish to add all of your error bars, and we use the error bar calculator for the graph. We select the area once and just click. Again, highlight that area, go onto the chart, click and drag your mouse down. Once you have entered these values, you then press OK. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but sometimes you have to do that twice. As you will see now, we have correct error bars entered for each of our days and time points. And this is how you produce your chart. For more detailed and further instructions, I have described all of these stages in the third sheet. Please feel free to go at your leisure through this sheet. Thank you for your time today.